Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the NECA action figure of the classic 1966 Adam West Batman. For as long as I've been collecting, my favorite kind of collectible has always been 6-inch and 7-inch scale action figures. Yeah, I've grown to like 1/6 scale figures and pops and all that, but my jam has always been seeing my favorite kind of characters translated into this kind of figure, especially quality figures like this by NECA. Long story short, Mattel has the rights from DC to make action figures, and then DC Collectibles makes their own action figures, but NECA has never been able to get the action figures. There's an exclusivity thing with Mattel, but they could make quarter scale figures, which they did. And what was really cool was they figured out this weird little loophole where they could make action figures based on those in smaller scale, like this, if they were part of like a home video promotion. This was an exclusive to Toys R Us, where they would sell this if you like bought a DVD with it, like a Batman Forever or something. You can get it for like half off. But they also sold it on its own for 20 bucks. I don't know how they managed to get away with that. I don't really care what the process is that got this figure made. All I care is I got a quality Adam West Batman figure made by NECA. As a collector and a Batman fan, this is just very, very pleasing to me. Now, let's take a closer look at the figure itself. There's some very nice details here, starting with the texture of his suit. Now, they gave it like this very, very thin grooved surface that kind of recreates his tights. But the kind of gray paint that went over it kind of leaves these weird kind of splotchy effects where the paint doesn't always fill in the grooves. Looks kind of weird, yet I don't care. The bat symbol on this was painted really well. There's some I saw where the yellow paint was a bit smushy or the bat symbol was a bit smeared, but I picked out a good one in my opinion. His bat belt looks good, especially the buckle in the front, and the bat symbol there is totally readable. And his gloves are very well sculpted and painted. I love the wrinkles in them. The fabric that is alluded to in the sculpt is really, really cool. Same thing with like the wrinkling of the fabric on the sides of his suit. Very, very well detailed, I think. Including the wrinkling of his little bat chonies and his bat bulge right above it. You can see how like the fabric wrinkles, just like how like fabric would wrinkle. So that's cool. Legs look good. Boots look really good. I like the little blue line going down the middle of the inside. Looks really, really good. The little zipper effect. And then, of course, the wrinkling. But the paint overall is really good when you get to the head. Look at that. I think the actual sculpt of Adam West's head, first of all, there's like an actual head underneath the cowl, because when I was hunting for this in stores, there were some where like it was slightly off inside. So I like that they created like a separate face element that goes over the human face. But some of them were a little wonky also, where the jaw met the base of the cowl could be a little wonky. But when you're hunting for something kind of limited like this, it's hard to be too nitpicky, but I think the sculpt of the cheeks and the mouth and the paint of the mouth and the eyeballs totally reads like Adam West. That's awesome. The blue paint on the mask part of the cowl looks great. And the general sculpt and paint of the cowl to give the sort of 1966 Batman cowl effect, and the general shape of it looks great, including the wrinkling right there at the collar area. Now, one kind of bummer about this figure, if I have any bummers about it, is the cape was packaged like all folded, and then you have to like unfold it to get it out, but it leaves these unseemly lines. I'm sure if I got an iron and set it like on a really low setting, I could smooth that out, but it'd be nice if it wasn't packaged that way. Like there's a slit in the bubble tray, the little plastic tray, that was wide enough for the cape to slide through, but this is a pretty wide cape. I think the best alternative would have been to have it removable. So you just package the figure without the cape, pop off his head, put the cape on, pop the head back on. That would have been cool. But as it stands, literally as the figure stands, the cape does look pretty cool. I'm going to have to, work on that so it's not all weird and bent at the bottom. The figure comes with a couple accessories, including these alternate hands, and I love that even the little fingers have wrinkling sculpted over the glove fabric. That is just fantastic. Now these hands are designed to hold a couple of accessories. We got Batarang here, which looks great, and I love they include a little hole for the string, and his little bat radio with the little antennas on it. The red paint and the gold paint is really, really good, and the radio fits perfectly into his hand here. Like it just stays in. Looks great. And this hand is perfectly made for the Batarang. It does slide right. There we go. I had it earlier and now I'm kind of schmutzing around with it like an idiot. But Hey, there we go. Look at that. I did a thing, and I did it right. But man, that looks just great. So now we're going to pop these onto the figure. Now the figure's got some great articulation, including the swiveling wrists with the inward and outward hinge, the ball-jointed elbows, because they do have the, well, they're not ball-jointed, but it's a joint and then a swivel right there. Also, you've got the hinge and ball swivel at the shoulders. There is a mid-torso cut. Not mid-torso, it's a lower torso right behind the bat belt. That's a ball joint. Man, that wrist is really tough to get out. There we go. But yeah, you got the little turn at the waist, kind of pivots a little bit. You got the joint at the neck. Good joints at the leg. You got the hinge at the knee that also swivels, so you can spin the leg however you need it to, because there is no boot cut, there is no mid-thigh cut, but there is a cut behind the knee. And then the shoe itself, the boot right at the shoe line, it is a ball joint. So yeah, on the whole, man, just look at this. It looks great. Now, I said man, but you know, there could be boys, children, ladies listening, you know, doesn't matter, just Batman fans in general. This looks awesome. Like, I don't know if I expressed this enough, but as someone who loves this kind of action figure, seeing stuff I love made into this format makes me really, really happy. And man, seeing Adam West as a Batman figure like this just delights me to no end. I think it looks badass. Thanks for watching.